'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Actually, they're guinea pigs. Welcome to Dolly Diaries, the holiday edition. So, I got asked to introduce you guys to my kitty cats, and I thought I'd show you all of our pets, including our 3 guinea pigs. And
hey, why are you putting the camera on me like
she's my favorite pet?
I better be.
This is Roxy, aka Roxaroni, Roxanne, Roxy Foxy, Wreck-It Roxy,
Roxy.
Foxy Roxy, among many other nicknames. She is a few years old, and we adopted her last June. Someone in town had a bunch of guinea pigs. She was from kind of like a hoarding situation, so she's kind of got a grumpy temperament, but she loves eating lettuce. That's her favorite thing to eat.
She also likes flipping the igloo.
She loves flipping the igloo and rearranging things in the cage. And one of her favorite things to do is run around the cage after I've cleaned it and inspect everything. So then we have baby Isla in the middle here, aka Patootie, Cutie Patootie, Tweety, Frankie Stein, because she's got the half and half, the Switch-a-Pig, and the Lorat, because I think her butt kind of looks like the Lorax. Isla is a happy pig. She's always happy, but she's really dramatic. She squeaks really high-pitched squeals when the other guinea pigs so much as touch her. She loves eating, and she's got a huge butt, and she's very lazy, and she's the loudest of our 3 guinea pigs. And then we have baby Nevaeh, who's actually the middle child. And yes, Nevaeh and Roxy are named after the Bratz dolls. And we also call her the Orca Pig, the Skunk Mouse, Nevy Poo Poos, Neva, and the little baby. She's kissing me right now. So Nev is the sassy pig. She likes to beat up the others. Nev tells the other pigs what to do. And she loves carrots. She's a fussy eater. She doesn't like a lot of things. She has a sweet tooth, and she's a total mama's girl. If she makes eye contact with me, she has to be on my lap, and she loves giving kisses. That's a Neva kiss. This is Andy, also known as Raggedy Andy, Andy Man, Andrew.
The Andes Mountain. His favorite pastimes include pooping on the rug,
Yes,
fighting with Oliver, meowing crazily at night,
which you've heard in videos.
playing hard to get.
He's huge. He's a big
And he
kitty.
just lets you hold him like he's a stuffed animal.
That's why they're called rag dolls, because they're a very agreeable breed. Oliver, aka Ollie, aka Googly Bear.
The fat man?
He is very jealous. He likes to be the center of attention. He loves eating. We think he has cat pica. He likes to eat a lot of inanimate objects. Actually, Isla the guinea pig likes to eat everything too. I forgot to mention that. And he's a total sweetie. He hates baths. He becomes Cujo the cat when he has baths. To barf and eat it. Hey everyone, so it's been over a week since we introduced you guys to our pets. Normally I don't like to film non-doll related stuff for my channel because this is a hobby channel. But since someone asked me to meet our pets, and since our pets are always in videos in the background, and since I know a lot of you guys love animals too, I thought I'd introduce them because, they're part of the family. The reason why I haven't filmed much this week is because we've been really busy. There was a lot of things to get ready for the holidays, and I did film 2 collection videos this week, which you guys have already seen by now. And our stove died, which leads me into the next point, that poor Stovula died. And Colleen actually has a story about a Barbie stove.
Okay.
She thought went with it.
So you guys probably heard me talk about Chandler a lot on Flickr, our 1992 My First Ken. Well, Chandler had a group of friends, including our Hawaiian Fun Ken, Rob, and Chandler also liked to cook, and so did his friends, and he named his kitchen stove Stovula. And at some point, his stove in the story we were acting out died. And Rob, Hawaiian Fun Ken, came over and acted like a witch doctor and tried some voodoo magic or something to resurrect his stove before they took it to the landfill. So we've been talking about how maybe we should have had Rob come upstairs from storage and talk to our stove.
Stovula's dead. She's 17 years old.
The good news is that while we were out picking out a placement for the real life stovula. We got something else that we've needed for a really long time for our dolls, which we will be showing you in a minute.
Yeah, basically, if you guys have been following me for a while, I've talked about like doll storage and how I wanted to show like all of our doll storage stuff in one video and then have like separate videos of like how I store different things. And part of the reason why it's taken me so long, like months and months and months, is because I wanted to buy extra shelves for my Barbie cars and
plus even
things.
Before that we needed the other drawers for the clothes.
Right, so, and you know, obviously like that stuff's expensive and I've been kind of saving money for it, but we don't go to Home Depot a lot, so we kind of needed to go to Home Depot and have the money. And even though we were already buying a stove, I happened to have the money on me that I saved to buy the shelves, so we just kind of killed two birds with one stone. But I also wanted to show you guys something my friend made me that's doll related, which is really cool in my bedroom. So my friend Lisa made me a Monster High, it's kind of covered up by my knit blanket, fleece tie blanket, which matches my pillow, which is buried beneath stuffed animals. I didn't even know she knew I liked Monster High dolls, but she totally got my number right.
I don't even think she knew we had this pillow either, and it happens
yeah, like she obviously knows we collect dolls. She's given us some of her dolls that she had growing up.
Anything with Laguna Blue and Pleo Denial on it is like, woo!
So we're in the basement, and I apologize for the really bad lighting. So this is the system I invented like 2 or 3 years ago. Basically, I didn't want to have all the vehicles loose. I wanted to house them so that they wouldn't get dusty.
We actually have old pictures of this on Flickr from back when this was new and before everything was all
discombobulated. And you can see I like have labels for what's in there, but they don't stay closed, which is a problem. And it takes up a massive amount of space.
Labels tell a lie.
You can't fit a lot in each box, and for like how much space they take up.
Buses.
Yeah. The problem though is my Flashback Fever bus, I don't know if you can tell, it's like leaning. And it's the only reason why I even allowed this is because my Jim and Glam tour bus, which you can't see, is hefty and beneath it. These are the shelves that I bought. I actually looked these up online because I like to like stock things online and think of the best options. So these are the dimensions. I'll give you guys like a minute to look at this. I got this on at Home Depot. You can get it online too. And these were like $45 each, which is a lot of money for one shelving unit, but they can hold a lot of weight. And these are plastic, so they were really easy to install. I did hurt my finger. We have some big ones over here, which I have pictures on Flickr of too, are wood and metal. And my parents always had these. Obviously, you can get shelves like these that are a lot heavier duty, but shelves like these at Home Depot for like one little unit that's the same size as these is like $80, and I just needed something that could hold those and that was cost efficient. So these were $45 each, which made it about like $95 with tax, and that wasn't bad. And if they were at Walmart, which these are them, if they were at Walmart I could have bought one at a time, but they're not. And excuse this eyesore, my dad had a motorcycle he took apart and no one wants to buy it.
Next thing is, if these aren't quite enough or we
expand
sets,
we have this space, and that's just some vegetables down here. We're gonna put trash bags, clear trash bags with labels around each of the individual vehicles, and that'll keep things off, like dust and stuff out, because I spent a long time cleaning stuff.
We'll probably put some dryer sheets in there too.
Yeah, to deter rodents, and I'm gonna do that with like my big Grand Hotel and stuff too.
The other thing that we wanted to do, we're eventually going to start moving some of these containers, like the small ones, onto the top of that.
Yeah, we want to free up the top of this bureau.
That's a big part of why we're doing this, because this is where all my Ken dolls are, but they're hitting the top. And I'm afraid for their safety, so we're going to try to divide them into two, and then we like these smaller containers like this. These are my Skipper dolls, and eventually we want to get the smaller containers because
so yeah, the lowdown
really
on why I did this is all of my dolls before were in these huge tubs, and they get really heavy and we carry them upstairs. There's a lot of weight put on the dolls at the bottom, even if you stack them nicely, and it's a pain if you want 1 or 2 dolls. So I moved my 90s dolls. I divided everything out so they could fit in these nice clear containers. You can see the dolls.
I like how you can see country.
Yeah, it's just really cute that way. So we're gonna try to switch over. So these are all the boxes disassembled. And then this is the top of the bureau. So
I haven't seen the top of the bureau in forever. I want to say that this took us last time, even with her assembling this and hurting her finger, This took us less time.
Yeah, these were really easy. It's basically just tubes and then these panels.
This is the best storage we've had for these ever.
Yeah, if you're storing vehicles, I mean, I want to make a whole video about this in the future when this is all tweaked, but the problem with stacking vehicles, because when we were kids we'd stack them on this, is you can break them and they roll. And if these were gonna roll, I could just clip bungee cords from one end to the other to like hold them in. Like, you know, like a parking thing.
Yeah.
Like you could do that if you were worried about it, or put stoppers in front of the wheels. The problem also with the boxes is these are rectangular and totally enclosed, whereas this has free space for like the pointy part of the cruise ship or the rear view mirrors that poke out, because the plastic bags we're going to put over them are going to like conform around them and take up no space. So it'll keep the dust and the bugs out and like, you know, anything like that off of them, and it will allow like the vehicle to breathe and not be crammed. You guys will see this one is all done in like a grand tour of everything, and yeah, and excuse like some of the ratchet stuff in the basement. Like this used to look like an episode of Hoarders, and I spent like, I want to say I spent 14 hours down here every day for like a week trying to clean this up, and it's been like several years, and I've slowly gotten rid of more stuff, and like this is supposed to be a bathroom.
And what I was doing while she was doing that, this is embarrassing. She thought I'd just be the way, so she had me take Dad's toy trucks that we were keeping and putting in the hutch. She had me spend those 14 hours listening to my Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows tape and cleaning the trucks.
Yeah, I like moved a bunch of furniture by myself.
I could hear her all day. I'm like, what's she doing
Like,
in there? And then I could kind of like,
this place, this here, you couldn't even see this. There was old desks, there was drawers pulled out of this that Dad had stacked up on things. We had our old, yeah, there was, and my bunk bed that you guys have seen for my American Girl dolls that I made over, it had a twin, and it was broken, and like Dad had it like pulled out like he was gonna fix it, and then there was like all these motorcycle parts in here were blown apart. I had to gather them. There was like mail and tool, like this whole corner with that desk and containers was all tools blown apart.
it actually looked bigger in here because I was scared of going in that over there, the red room is Dad's old room. I was actually scared of going from there to there because I didn't know what I was going to find in here because it looked like a jungle. It actually looked bigger because there was so much junk. And it was like, I was crossing like...
And then in here, in this room, which you guys have seen a lot in the storage videos, there was a fridge over here on top of like a cabinet thing that's in our living room now, and then there was a big saw in the middle. There was actually two saws, I think. There was a bunch of, because I used to make my doll stands in here, there's sawdust everywhere, and this is Dad and Mom's old room. Loads of toy trucks all over the place. And then there was a different bureau in the other room in here. This was on our addition. So, hello. So, we actually had to move this whole thing, mirror, and everything by ourselves.
We've been slowly transforming this into our doll storage paradise over the last 4 years, but first we had to make it habitable.
And this is my old bedroom. I didn't have any of these, and there was like a pile of like suitcases, and then I used to save doll boxes.
Doll clothes in suitcases.
Yeah, and then I had a huge big box with tons of doll boxes in it. I just recycled all of those, so yeah, it was a disaster.
We've worked like for this, like we, especially her, have worked really, really hard for what you see now.
So, you know, if you want something, sometimes you have to bust your butt, and it takes a long time, but, you know, make it happen yourself. Like, that's what you have to do.
I feel really good now when I come down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, you can pull dolls out and have them on the carpet, and you can find everything, and, you know, I know that everything's safe, and I could really expand out all my doll stuff. So, if you want something, go for it. Make it happen for yourself. Don't wait around for other people to help you, and you can have your own dolly paradise or whatever it is you want. Hi everyone, so we're back again. It's the night of Christmas. I don't know.
It was the night of Christmas.
It was the night of Christmas in Walter's house. We didn't go anywhere today because we had our family thing last night. It's kind of an informal tradition we've started since last year. I always wanted to make a gingerbread house since I read Samantha's, I don't know if she's in the frame, but since I read Samantha's Christmas story, ever since I read Sam's book, I wanted to make a gingerbread house, and I thought it would be really glamorous, and last year we bought a really cute gingerbread easy to make kit, and basically man hands over here being me popped the icing bag, and it was just going everywhere, and we couldn't make the house, so we ended up making it ugly. on purpose because that was all we could do with it. And I had pictures of it on my Flickr with like the dolls we had making it with us last year. Because we have dolls with us when we do this. But I don't have that picture on my Flickr anymore because I was trying to really like clean up that particular album and like make it more purposed. So I still have
Purposeful?
Yeah, purposeful. So I have a picture and I'll insert it in here. It's on my computer and it's gonna.
So before we get started, there's a little something I wanted to say. As of today, this girl here, our oldest American Girl doll, has been part of our family for exactly 20 years. It's Molly's 20th birthday today.
So this year we decided to go with the Sugar Cookie Hello Kitty house for a few reasons. We don't really like the taste of gingerbread. The other house didn't taste good. We're gonna eat this right after. And
then when we're feeling sick and fat, we're gonna go watch the Muppets Christmas Carol like we did last year.
With our dolls.
Like last year.
Just different ones. And this is Grace's first Christmas with me. Anyways, so also I love Hello Kitty. If you didn't know, I'm a big Hello Kitty fan. I'm not gonna like make the whole thing on camera because we kind of want to like hang out and listen to music and stuff. But we'll show you a bit of it and then like what it looks like, and then we'll show you it at the end.
So I don't think our record from last year of how the house came out is going to be hard to beat at all. I think we can pretty much do anything.
I don't know. I helped Lisa try to make like her train, and I did an awful job.
But the train still looks good, whereas our gingerbread house last year looks very bad.
Okay, so
this doesn't look that edible. It also feels kind of like a rock. Feel that?
I don't want to pound it. Don't break it.
I'm not breaking it.
Of course, I'm the one that broke it.
She'd be happy secretly if I broke this on camera when she was the one who screwed up the house last year.
It wasn't all my fault. I mean, you can't build anything.
Actually, so she claims a lot of people build these but can't get them to stay together. We got it to stay together. It was
You just broke this. We'll try it. So these are the directions.
Well,
so this is our inspiration.
bad news. It doesn't honestly taste good at all. Yeah, I think
Oh man.
I probably shouldn't have eaten it. I probably should have tried to glue it back on with icing.
Yeah. So we finished the gingerbread house, and it's ugly.
Oh no, it's way better than last year.
It's way better than last year.
Molly has icing on her shoe.
Yeah, she does. But yeah, we took the thumbnail for this video, and you know, we want to have another photo of the dolls by the gingerbread house because that's a new tradition. And this is what it looks like. It's already kind of dying. I'm gonna tell you, this gumdrops taste gross. Don't look at that. I don't know what happened there. I shouldn't operate icing, and don't look at that. This is just one ugly gingerbread house.
Okay, I personally think compared to last year, it came out really good. Admittedly, I was lazy and didn't cut these gumdrops down to make a better wreath.
Yeah, I don't know. This looks a little too cluttered. Like there's big peanut M&Ms and big gumdrops and a bow that's not lined up right. And Hello Kitty keeps wanting to topple.
Wait, I didn't fix the bow. That's not a big deal. Dude.
So yeah,
we almost had the roof cave in the first 2 seconds of doing
this
that.
side. I kind of used too much force when I pushed the candy in, and it started to go inward. I am too much force. Eat what we want, and
this is probably our supper tonight, which is better than the year that we had Totino's pizza rolls, which was probably even worse for you.
Yeah, that was the year Dad was in the hospital. So we're gonna eat this and as much of it as we can, and then we're gonna watch movies with our dolls.
Yep.
We're gonna end this episode of Dolly Diaries with a recap of 2016. So in terms of our doll collection, maybe some of the resolutions we had and things we wanted to work on, things that happened this year for our collection, and we're also going to talk about what we hope for 2017. Starting with our 2016 resolutions, we wanted to mostly focus on getting more clothes for certain American Girl dolls, like Bitty Baby dolls and our Girl of Today's, because we were using the same clothes we had since we were kids, or scrappy flea market finds.
Get Kirsten's eyes replaced. And get her more clothes because she didn't have much.
Yep.
And we're very happy with both her new clothes and her eyes.
And we wanted to actually pierce some of the American Girl dolls' ears as well. When I got Grace, I thought that having pierced ears sounded like a lot of fun, and when I tried making earrings for Elizabeth and Ivy, it was something I really enjoyed, and then I taught myself how to pierce their ears, and now I can't imagine not having a bunch of them with pierced ears. We also wanted to
finish reorganizing all our doll clothes and buy the drawers, the rest of the drawers we needed to do it exactly how we want. The clothes are completely done now. We're really happy with that.
Yep, because it takes a while to like have the money and like to find each drawer you need, and they actually discontinued that size at some point. I'm the sort of person where I have a lot of problems with emotional shopping, and I'm going to make a whole video about that in the future because I know a lot of you guys can probably relate to it. But basically, for several years now, I've really tried to get better about like how I'm spending my money and what I'm spending it on. And like a person on a diet, you don't want to go from one extreme to the other. Like just stopping buying dolls altogether wouldn't work for me, and I like buying dolls. It's a healthy hobby for me. It's just the shopping I needed to get a handle on. So we wanted to focus more on getting stuff on sale, especially for American Girl, because I didn't know they had so many good sales.
And at flea market, since we really like to buy in bulk, we still buy singles, but we try not to buy too many singles, especially not ones that are more than $2 each, because chances are we're going to find a duplicate in a bin.
Right.
And since we realized that the thing we love most is finding bins and making over a whole group of just random miscellaneous dolls that you acquire and then keeping them all together.
Yeah.
Like, we decided that what we wanted to do was focus more on just buying the bins.
And that worked out really well, actually.
Right, I mean, we did still buy singles and box dolls,
right.
but we, you know...
in a more balanced way.
Yes, we kept it in mind.
We'll buy things for full price, but we try to get most of it on sale. It's about having a good balance, in my opinion. Something that I really wanted to do that I didn't actually succeed with fully was working on polishing my Flickr. The plan had been to get my Flickr exactly where I wanted it to be, and then either at the end of this year or the beginning of 2017 I would start a YouTube channel. So when I would link my Flickr down below and direct people to my Flickr for information, everything would be all set. There'd be lots of good personal fun facts and like on point my stories, and the photos would be really great and the information would really be complete. But that just didn't happen. A lot of stuff happened at the beginning of the year. Like we lost someone in our family, we had a lot of vehicle problems, there's just a lot of bad stuff happened, and it kind of took away from my motivation to get as much done. So while I was working on my guide and I did replace some photos and I did rewrite some stuff, I just didn't have that same momentum. And then when I did YouTube, I ended up just having to divide my time more between the two things. So I'm hoping to work more on that this year and to get more things done with Flickr this year than I did last year. Glad I just decided to start my YouTube when I did, because you're never going to have all your ducks in a row. I really struggle with perfectionism and like obsessive compulsive tendencies, and I just don't want to live my life chasing myself around in circles trying to make everything perfect. So I just went for it. I just started my YouTube channel, and I'm really glad I did. This was a really rewarding experience. Something else I really wanted to work on in terms of the social media was, we actually kind of both did. Like, I'm the one who responds to the comments and like does all that stuff. But Colleen reads a lot of the comments too, and sometimes if I get like a negative comment, and this was back before I had a YouTube, like on Flickr, I wouldn't know how to respond to it, and we'd put a lot of energy into like trying to respond to like people's long-winded rants about what they didn't like about dolls and stuff. Basically people who just came to my photo stream to complain because they wanted their opinion to be heard, and they didn't really want my input, they didn't really want...
Right, and they were just using the site we worked on as a platform to talk about what they wanted to get out there, and that's not what our platform's for.
Yeah, the thing is, if you want to complain and be negative and like really like write a lot about something or say a lot, obviously you have the channel or the Flickr or whatever account it is to post that on of your own. And when you bring that stuff to someone else's work, you know, we worked really hard. We'll never get those days and those hours of our lives back that we spent making content for like the internet. And I don't want other people's negative stuff to take away from our message. And that was something I really wanted to work on, was just replying to those comments as briefly as I could, or just not, just deleting them. So, and I feel like I've gotten better at it. I still need to work on it. So then a brief recap of 2016.
This was really like the year for Monster High. Like we've never found them in such bulk at the flea market before, and like a lot of like the dolls that we really wanted when we first got into them. And then we also happened to catch them at the right time for the sales for some of the newer dolls that we really liked.
I ended up just getting a lot of American Girl stuff this year. Not only did we kind of stick to our goals, but I added a bunch of dolls, and that was fun. It was very like freeing not to like overanalyze how many dolls we had in our collection, and just to kind of like find what we find like, you know, and enjoy that and roll with it. Like Maya wasn't planned, Lindsay wasn't planned, and just falling in love with those dolls in the moment and like just adding them to the collection, and then, you know, getting dolls like Jess and Grace, who I always really liked and secretly wanted. It was really wonderful. And of course Caroline. You guys know how much I love Caroline. We happened to find a lot of flea market bins, a bunch. Like we started with the Ken suitcase lot and we ended with like the Teresa lot. If you check out my treasure hunts album on Flickr, you'll see like all the different lots we found. It was just weird. Sometimes
this was like a real bin summer.
Yeah, last year we got a lot of box dolls that were really cheap. It was just the way it worked out. So there's different like weird patterns that happen.
Also this year was the year that she branched out and started making hair stuff and jewelry for American Girl size dolls. Before we were mostly doing it for Bratz and Barbie, but now we experimented with on the 18-inch dolls and we really like it. And it's really opened up a new world creatively.
We also started reorganizing our dolls and like play sets and vehicles, which you guys saw some of that in this video. So that was great. We're kind of working on a new system for that stuff, so stay tuned for more about those in my future storage videos. And of course there was YouTube. That was a really big one. Flickr, I continue doing what I always do. Like I kept up with the guide and I did rework some old things, but YouTube took a lot of my time and I'm really proud of like what we've done. And most of all, you know, for me it's not about like subscribers or how many views I get, because, you know, especially with like things like this YouTube glitch going on, that's not accurate. Like there were people subscribed to me who got unsubscribed. There were views I had that disappeared, and I'm not the only one who had this happen. So for me, what makes me feel good is seeing your comments and seeing you guys reach out and say that like a video touched you or inspired you, or you wanted to start collecting secondhand dolls, or that it's just a positive place for you to like relax and enjoy. And those comments mean the world to me, and you guys make my YouTube experience really awesome. I want the people who watch my videos to get the most out of it they can. I'd rather have 10 people watch my videos and look at my Flickr photos and like really get it and really be on board with what I'm saying and really be affected by it, rather than a million people who don't.
I was really like originally the reason I wanted to get on YouTube was for like basically just a different medium to express what we were already expressing on Flickr, but I wasn't expecting or anticipating like this really good unexpected outcome.
Because I prefer the medium of Flickr. I prefer taking photos and writing. I feel like I just like the control I have over that medium more. But you guys on YouTube are like an awesome community and you're a lot more interactive, and I feel like when I take the time to like make a video, I know that like a lot of people got something out of it. People on Flickr are a little more quiet, so it's always harder to kind of gauge if people are how they're responding to it, and you guys are always just so interactive. And so for 2017 there are a few things that we want to work on.
I'll start?
Yeah, you can.
We want to get more retired American Girl clothes and some Julie's Be Forever clothes, because that somehow fell off the wagon.
Yep, and along with that, we want to get build up our Ever After High and Monster High clothes collection. I barely have any spares for them.
And our Disney clothes, in particular, Tycho Little Mermaid clothes.
So basically, it's not like stuff we just hope we happen to find. This is stuff that we'll probably be making a point of tracking down on like eBay, or at like paying a little bit more at flea markets for, or like American Girl, going on the website and tracking down. And we also want to keep getting stuff on sale and like, you know, keep that balanced way of collecting and like spending our money, because like I said, it's something I've always really struggled with, and I'm really proud of how far we've come. And you know, each year, each month, each week, we get a little better, and it's mostly my problem, but
I encourage them to do that.
And I want to get a lot more done on Flickr than I did last year. I've had like so many like experience inspirational photos that I've had planned for ages, that I even took pictures for some of them, and I just haven't had the time to sit down and type things out. I haven't gotten to rework a lot of the albums that I wanted to rework, and I have like big plans for like how I'm going to revamp my Playsets album, and I really want to like write more personal fun facts on the photos that just don't have them. That's my goal. I really, really want to do that. I really need to like set time aside every day to do like a little bit. I feel like that's
And I was doing good, but now I need to get back on track with
yeah, it's hard, especially like with regular life and then doing YouTube too. Especially because you guys on YouTube like want a lot more, you request a lot more, which I don't mind at all, but it's very hard like when you make like 3 collection videos in a row, and then you get like 4 more requests, and then you just feel like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this at all? And then, you know, I have other series that I'm doing at the same time, and then we get new dolls, and I have to update my gun on Flickr. It just becomes like this crazy mess, and I just lose motivation when I'm not organized anymore.
Speaking of organized, another goal is to continue to organize the dolls and play sets.
Colleen has a specific resolution for YouTube.
I need to start being less awkward on camera. Because there's like the Skipper collection video we tried to film and it didn't work out, and for that to work out and to stay under a certain length, I have to get better at expressing myself on camera.
Colleen just stutters a lot when she talks, and like it's very hard in a video.
I love talking in person, but I stink on camera.
But in person you tend to like stop what you're saying, and then there'll be like a whole minute pause, and then you're very like, that's a funny thing. I talk more on video, but in person, anyone who knows me like thinks I don't talk. Because I don't personally talk much. I'm a quiet person, but because I feel more comfortable on camera, which is weird because I'm super awkward in person.
Whereas if I told people that I work with, that I'm friends with, oh, I feel better about writing stuff than about actually saying it, they'd be like, what are you talking about, Colleen? Talking is like your favorite Olympic sport.
But that's something she wants to do, because I know you guys love her and want to see more of her, and you know, it's not that I'm a camera hog at all, it's just she like needs to build up the confidence. And for me, I want to keep like just consistency, and not like I need a schedule for YouTube or I need a schedule for Flickr, but for me, I struggle with being my own worst enemy, needing things to be perfect. I get discouraged, I lose motivation, and when my fresh start's not fresh anymore, it always kind of makes me just like want to give up and throw in the towel. And for me, like posting stuff on the internet and like not obsessing and it not being perfect has been really hard for me, and I just want to keep moving forward. I want to keep putting out content. I don't want to get hung up on like things not being perfect. I just want to keep moving. The biggest thing that I want to work on in terms of like social media is the comments. I feel like the more my channel's gotten like a bigger audience, the more pointless negativity I get. Like, I also get people just leaving like pointless, negative or critical or invasive comments. And for me, it's really hard because I like to be nice to everyone and I like to respond to everyone's comment. And I feel guilty and like I'm being like mean or censoring people if I don't respond to the comment. But the thing is, like, I want to spend time responding to the people who matter, the people who get something out of my videos, the people who need help with things. I want to focus on those people, not on the people who just come to a video and leave a nasty comment. And even though I can honestly laugh about a really mean comment like, oh, you're ugly, like I can laugh about that because that's like completely ridiculous. But when people like critique my videos, and they're not people that like I regularly talk to, they just critique it for no reason, that gets in my head and I feel bad, and I just don't want to give people like that the time of day. I just want to work on deleting those comments, moving on, not letting it get in my head, and, you know, to have more time for the people that matter. And along with that, like, I'm really tired of people insinuating things about our financial situation. And I know people don't mean it in the bad way all the time, but like, if you go to someone's social media and you imply that they're rich or they have a lot of money or like something along those lines, it's very rude. You do not know what goes on off camera, and we're not rich. We're really not rich. We're very broke. For me, it's just kind of been like my personal motto not to respond to that. Why should I respond to something that I feel is invasive or rude or makes me uncomfortable? That's what we want to work on for the next year, and I think it's important just to make resolutions all the time and to work on bettering yourself every day, whether or not it's a new year. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in 2017. And until then, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.